One awkward moment does not cancel my confidence. People can notice my mistakes and still respect me. I'm allowed to return before I feel completely comfortable. The most important word is return. Confidence grows when you show yourself that discomfort does not get to remove you from your own life. Have you ever replayed an embarrassing moment so many times that your brain turned 10 awkward seconds into a full-length movie? Maybe you gave the wrong answer in class with complete confidence. Maybe your voice cracked during a presentation. You tripped in front of people. You sent a message to the wrong chat, forgot someone's name, or made a joke that landed in total silence. The moment ends, but your mind keeps going. Why did I do that? Everybody noticed. They're probably still talking about me. I can never go back. Embarrassment can make you want to hide, avoid people, or change the way you show up. But an awkward moment is not a permanent label. It is a human moment, and you can recover from it. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop feeding the replay, decide whether anything needs to be repaired, and make what I call a brave return using our GRACE framework. Welcome back to the Gracefully Growing podcast, the place where teens and young adults learn practical tools for navigating real life with gratitude, reflection, affirmation, connection, and empathy. I am Dr. Kemi, and I'm so glad that you're here. By the end of this episode, you will know why embarrassment feels so intense, how to challenge the idea that everyone is focused on you, and what to say when you need to laugh it off, clarify, apologize, or simply move on. And if you're a parent, guardian, or educator, stay with me because near the end, I will share how to support a teen without teasing them, dismissing the moment, or making the audience bigger. Imagine a student named Alex. Alex has prepared for a class presentation all week. The slides are finished. The opening line has been practiced and practiced and practiced. Alex walks to the front of the room, connects the laptop, takes a break, and begins. The first slide appears, and it is not the presentation. It is a silly personal photo Alex had saved for a friend. For 2 seconds, nobody says anything. Then a few students starts laughing. Alex closes the screen so quickly that the next slide never gets a chance. The face feels hot. The heart races. Every thought says, "Get out of this room." Alex mumbles through the presentation, avoids eye contact, and spends the rest of the day imagining the story spreading across the school. That evening, Alex remembers every laugh, but not the classmates who actually quietly said, "It's okay." Not the teacher who calmly reopened the correct file, and not the fact that the class moved on to the next presentation. No, this is what embarrassment often does. It narrows the camera, right? It zooms in on the most uncomfortable detail and crops out every sign that the moment was survivable. Why? Let's talk about why embarrassment feels so big. Embarrassment is a self-conscious emotion. It often appears when we think other people have seen us break a social expectation. We looked unprepared. We made a mistake. We stood out or revealed something we wanted to keep private. Because belonging matters, your brain may treat social attention like a major threat. Your body reacts quickly, heat in your face, racing heartbeat, nervous laughter, silence, or the urge to escape. The reaction is uncomfortable, but it does not prove the situation is as catastrophic as it feels. Here is the spotlight effect. We often overestimate how much other people notice and remember our mistakes. You are the main character in your memory of the moment. To everyone else, it may be one small sin in a very full day. So embarrassment becomes harder when it turns into a shame spiral. Event. I made a mistake. Prediction. Everyone will remember. Identity judgment. I'm so awkward. Avoidance. I will not speak, try, or go back. The way out is not pretending nothing happened. It is shrinking the story back to its actual size. Here's the truth I want you to remember. You had an embarrassing moment. That's a fact. But you are not an embarrassing person. So let's talk about the first minute recovering. If the moment just happened, do not demand a perfect response. Use this simple sequence. Pause, settle, choose. Let me show you. Pause. Take one deep breath and resist explaining every detail immediately. Settle. Plant your feet. Relax your shoulder and notice one neutral thing in the room. Choose. Decide whether the moment needs humor, a correction, an apology, or no response at all. So here are 4 short responses you can keep ready. Number 1, for harmless awkwardness. Well, that happened. Let me try again. For a factual mistake, I said that incorrectly. Here's what I meant. For an accidental impact, that did not come out the way I intended. I apologize. For no repair needed, I want you to smile, reset, continue. A brief, calm response usually helps the moment pass faster than a long defense. You don't have to perform confidence. You only need to take the next clear action. Let us talk about how we navigate embarrassment with grace. We're going to use the grace embarrassment reset. And now, the goal of this reset is not to erase the memory. It is to stop the memory from controlling your next move, starting with gratitude. Gratitude reminds you to ground in what went right. So what does that look like? Gratitude does not mean being thankful for humiliation. Why would you be thankful for that? It just means that we are finding the full picture. You're asking who responded kindly? What part did I handle well? What support was available? What did I learn? So Alex may say, my teacher helped without making a big deal of it. One classmate was kind. I stayed and finished. The entire day did not fall apart. Or you can say this moment was uncomfortable. And there is more to the story than the uncomfortable part. Let's talk about reflection. Reflection allows you to sort facts from predictions. We're going to write 2 short lists. First, what actually happened? Second, what am I predicting? So let's talk about the facts. Here's a fact. A few people laughed when the wrong image appeared. I felt flustered during the presentation. Now, here are the predictions. Everybody will talk about it for weeks. Nobody will ever take me seriously again. Then I want you to ask yourself, what evidence supports what prediction? What evidence does not? What would I say to a friend who had the same experience? Moving on to affirmations. Affirmations help you to protect your identity from one moment. So I want you to use an affirmation that is honest enough for you to believe. Like this, I can survive being seen as imperfect. Absolutely, we are all imperfect beings. One awkward moment does not cancel my confidence. People can notice my mistakes and still respect me. I'm allowed to return before I feel completely comfortable. The most important word is return. Confidence grows when you show yourself that discomfort does not get to remove you from your own life. Let me say that again. Confidence grows when you show yourself that discomfort does not get to remove you from your own life. Moving on to connection. Connection reminds us to choose safe perspective, not a bigger audience. So I want you to talk to one trusted person who can help you get perspective, not someone who will replay, share, or amplify the moment at your expense. So when you find your safe person, you can say, "Can I tell you what happened?" and get an honest reality check. I keep replaying this. What did you notice from your perspective? So that is if the person was in the room when the embarrassing moment occurred. Can you help me practice what I want to say when I go back? If a photo, video, rumor, or private information is being shared to humiliate you, that is more than a simple, awkward moment. I want you to save the relevant evidence. Do not retaliate, and tell a trusted adult or school staff member promptly so you can get support. Let's talk about empathy. Empathy reminds you to respond without attacking yourself. I focus a lot on self-empathy because self-empathy says, of course, I feel exposed. Of course, I feel embarrassed. Belonging matters to me. It does not say I must hide until nobody remembers. I want you to speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you respect. Replace "I am ridiculous" with "I had a rough moment." Replace "I ruined everything" with "there may be one thing to repair. Then I can move forward." Extend empathy outward too. Sometimes people laugh from surprise or nervousness, not cruelty. So remember, that does not make every reaction okay, but it keeps you from guessing the harshest motive without evidence. So here's a recovery sentence that I'm going to offer you. I can recover, repair what is mine, and return without carrying unnecessary shame. This is a reminder for you. Not every embarrassing moment needs the same response. So use these three categories: repair, release, or report. Repair. If your words or action hurt somebody, give a direct apology. Name the impact, take responsibility, and say what you will do differently. Release. If the moment was harmless or already over, let it be complete. Let it go. Do not keep reopening it through repeated explanations or self-insults. Report. If someone is repeatedly mocking, recording, posting, threatening, or targeting you, involve a trusted adult. You deserve help addressing harmful behavior. So a repair could sound like this. What I said was careless, and I understand why it hurt you. I am sorry. I will handle that differently. Notice there is no long excuse and no demand that the other person immediately make you feel better. I'm going to stop here and say something. Your job when you need to repair is to offer the apology, is to make the move. You are not responsible for how the other person responds or reacts. Releasing can sound like that was awkward, but it is done. It is finished. Reporting can sound like this is being shared to embarrass me and I need help stopping it. Let's go on to today's anonymous question. So here's the question. I said the wrong thing in front of people and now I keep avoiding them. What if they bring it up when I go back? Great question. I want you to use the repair, release, or report method. First, decide whether you owe anyone a correction, or an apology? If you do, handle it calmly and simply. If you don't, prepare one calm sentence so you're not inventing a response under pressure. You might say, "Yes, that was awkward. I have moved on." Or, "I misspoke, corrected it, and learned from it." Then change the subject or return to what you were doing. Don't wait to feel zero embarrassment before you return. Avoidance can teach your brain that the situation was too dangerous to face. A small supported return teaches your brain something different. I felt uncomfortable and I was still okay. Start with the smallest return. Sit with one safe friend. Answer one question. Attend the next practice or walk into the room with a trusted person. You are not proving that the moment does not matter. You're proving that it does not own you. Thank you for turning in your question. I really appreciate that. Now, for the parents, the guardians, educators, coaches, and mentors who are supporting young people. Embarrassment may look like anger, refusal, silent, stomach discomfort, wanting to stay home, or suddenly declaring, "I don't care." Before pushing for details, I encourage you to protect that young person's dignity. So, you want to try this. That sounds really uncomfortable. Do you want me to listen, help you make a plan, or give you a little space and check back? Avoid laughing before the teen is ready. Retelling the story to other adults, forcing a public apology, or saying, "Nobody cares." Even if you mean that others will move on, the teen may hear that their feelings do not matter. So help that teen classify the moment. Does it need repair, release, or reporting? Then plan the smallest, safest return. If the situation involves ongoing harassment or unwanted sharing, take it seriously and work through the appropriate school or platform process. As an adult, your goal is not to rescue a teen from every awkward feeling. It is to help them to learn, I can be imperfect, accountable, supported, and still belong. Here is your grace challenge for this week. I want you to complete your brave return card. So it goes like this. Here is the fact. What happened? In one neutral sentence. The story. What am I predicting or calling myself? The response. Does this need repair, release, or reporting? The return. What is one small action that puts me back in my life? Your return might be opening the group chat without rereading the old messages, going back to class, greeting one person, practicing your presentation again, or asking a trusted adult to walk with you through the next step. Before you go, remember, embarrassment is proof that you're human, not proof that you do not belong. And that moment may have been awkward. You could still repair, laugh later if you choose, and return. If this episode helped you, subscribe to the Gracefully Growing podcast and share it with someone whose mind keeps replaying one uncomfortable moment. If you want support practicing these tools in real life, I invite you to join the Living with Grace team program in our school community. We're building emotional resilience, confidence, and connections, one practical step at a time. The enrollment link will be in the description. I want you to tell me in the comments which part of grace helps you recover. Is it gratitude, reflection, affirmation, connection, or empathy? You had a moment. You're still growing. Prepare if needed and make your brave return with grace. I want you to stay growing, stay graceful. Remember, You got this. I am rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next episode. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Gracefully Growing. Thank you so much for tuning in and growing with me. Remember, living with grace means showing gratitude, taking the time for reflection, speaking powerful affirmations, building strong connections, and practicing daily empathy with yourself and others. If today's episode gave you something to think about, inspired you, or made you smile, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also download today's free resource in the show notes and join our Gracefully Growing community on social media for more tools, encouragement, and real talk. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, keep growing, and most of all, keep living with grace. I am Dr. Kemi. See you next week.